All right, so connections. By default, it connects anybody out there, but you can also set it to not target the folks who are that's weird. Yeah, okay.
So
So I have to be an administrator.
So what he would be doing is removing people that are already fans
Right.
of yours to reach out, because you're already on your fan page telling people.
Right.
Right.
So you're not wasting money on the people you're already telling. So he's saying everybody who's not a fan of the bike route.
Now what about
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you think, oh, the 90,000 is awesome, but your 600 is actually way more effective because you're actually getting your message you want. There used to be a term in marketing where, you threw out the fishnet and you just tried to catch a few, and what they found is that not effective. If you do the quality over quantity, your sales or impressions or whatever it is you're looking to sell are actually going to improve greatly. If you were to choose to spend $500 just on 600 people, your ROI is going to be much larger, even though you think in your mind it kind of goes backwards. Well, I'm targeting less people, but no, you're targeting exactly who you want to target instead of just randomly trying to grab someone.
yeah, surgical strike?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, advanced demographics. Does it matter if they're interested in men, women? I don't think it matters here. What kind of relationship they're in. Language. They put the language in their profile? No. Okay. Education, maybe in college, or maybe college grad, if you want to.
Who's likely to spend?
College grad.
Yeah.
Again, it's just going to depend on your perception of who your demographic
Right,
is.
right, yeah.
I would say
Let's
that's
choose
just-
that just to see what
Yeah.
happens. Okay.
Yeah, you're definitely a college grad.
And then you could also put a college in here, like if you were selling, Razorback branded cycling
Mhm.
apparel,
Mhm.
then you might want to put they graduated from the University of Arkansas.
Right.
There we are, right there. We don't do, well, we don't want to do this, okay. All right, so you're down to 340 people,
Mm-hmm.
okay. All right, so now we're down here into the name of your campaign. So we'll call this like Summer Clothing
Mm-hmm.
2011 version 1, because ideally you'd go back and make multiple versions of these things. And I believe there's an option to let you copy. So if you want to make another one, if you just wanted to change the logo, it would let you copy that ad.
So you don't have to start from scratch.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
And then, well, it looks like it lets you do per day or for a lifetime budget. So if you have this, my whole budget is $500, and I don't care if it goes for a day or a month. Then you might. This is the way that you might do it. So
Okay.
if you want to stretch it out over that month.
So the way you got to think about this ad is how much am I willing to spend on this campaign?
Right.
Okay.
That and your end date is October 1st, so
Right.
Yeah. So that's what, about a week.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's say the budget is, can we put a fictitious budget up there?
Yeah, we'll put $50.
$250?
Yeah, we'll put $250. That'll be fine.
50, okay.
Well, you see, now let's think about this. So again, typically, it's $2 to $5 per click. Because we're building a per click, and this we're building a per click campaign because we want them. You want to send them to your Facebook page so they can
Look at the clothing.
look at the clothing.
Right.
Okay. So if it's $2 to $5 per click, then that's 10 to 25 clicks per day.
Okay.
Because you've only got about 340 people.
Okay.
So you might not need $50 a day. Again, you'll have to let it run for a couple days, and then you can just come back in and adjust the budget, just budget up or down.
Okay.
How do we get to see how much it is per click? Is that down further at the bottom
Okay,
there?
so we're going to do a pay
So I was
per
going to say,
click.
that probably helps you kind of back
Yeah,
into
yeah.
your
Right.
number if you
So
figure out how much it's
you
going
can
to be.
see here, it's making a suggested bid, just based on the keywords that you have in your text and what you targeted. So it's suggested a bid of $1.87 to $3.04 per click.
A bid, so so it doesn't give you a firm rate, you get to negotiate it, is that what you're saying?
Right, so, yeah. Typically, I just use the automated stuff because for most purposes, that's gonna do you well. Unless you have some of these more esoteric keywords like we saw at the very beginning, and some of these maybe like these insurance or legal type things, the automated stuff works just fine, and you don't have to spend a lot of work for it. And typically, for this guy, I usually double the amount, just so I can get a good bid. So, twice that'll be 304. Typically, it comes back around in this range. So,
What's up with the bidding? It's like eBay.
it's like eBay, yeah.
That's,
So if I want to get priority for a specific keyword,
okay.
so if I want to get higher up, because there's like 3 or 4 on the side, if I want to get higher up, then I put a bigger bid in it.
So that determines your place on the right side of the page.
So wait a minute, back to the bid again. How did you say you double what? Which number?
The suggested bid,
Well, the suggested bid is a range. Which number are you doubling?
the biggest bid.
So the 304, so you're gonna double that? You're gonna say, I'll pay more than the
I'll pay
range?
$6, but it does come back. It typically comes back to the suggested bid, pretty close to the suggested bid when you actually pay for it, what they actually charge you.
So you're not gonna know right up front what you're paying?
Where'd the $2.21 come in? I thought you put
You've
in
keyed in
6.
221 right now.
No, I use the suggested bid. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Okay, I know you're just losing me a little.
I'm lost.
Okay,
You're
I'm
losing
sorry.
us on how you're doing this. And,
Who are you bidding against? What do you?
Okay, so there are other people who want to sell cycling gear. Okay, and they're going to want to put their ads up there as well. So if you bid more than they do, you get better placement. But
Are there other people within these 340?
that's the deal.
They could be, they don't
They're-
care, they could be bidding up for 900,000 people at the beginning,
Right.
but it's still,
That's the deal.
They would be casting a wider net.
Right. And so what might happen, so you might have somebody that has a national summer sale going on that you're bidding against.
They're paying for those 90,000.
Exactly. They're paying for somebody from the entire US. So that's who you're up against. So they might bid more per keyword than you would, and they would show up higher. So I typically put in twice what the top end suggested bid is.
Okay, well, why did you put 221
I
instead of
didn't put it there.
608?
What they do is they have a tool, is use the suggested bid,
Okay,
and they'll pick that number for you. It must have changed in the last
so it's
couple
gone down a little bit.
Yeah.
Where did you put that $6? I missed that. Where did
The rule of thumb that I have is just twice as much as the top one.
But you entered that to the left of where your cursor is?
Yes.
Okay.
In this max bid. But you can also just use what Facebook suggests.
so when it came up and did 220, or now it's 219, 213, that's not actually what you will pay, that's just what they suggest you
That's
to
what they
go back
suggest,
and put
right.
in instead of the 6.
Right. And you might eventually pay less than that because, again, there might not the national chain might not actually be running a summer clearance at the same time. You just don't know until they actually deploy the ads. And then once they deploy the ads and once they've made their money, then they figure out how much they're going to charge you for.
So how
It's
far,
kind of
how
again.
far
That's why.
off the 213 can it be? I mean, you said it could be less, it could be more. How much more can it be? I mean, like, are we talking about that it could end up being $6, $8 total per ad, or how far off of the number? You know, I guess I'm
And
trying to
again,
figure out how
what
much
you can-
damage can you run into.
And again,
there
what you
on
can
that.
do, this initially it gives you the max bid. So if you say, my budget is I can't get more than 10 clicks a day at $6.
Okay.
I can spend $60 a day.
Yeah.
Then you can set it to be this.
Okay.
I got $60 a day. I'm going to set my max bid to 6, so I'll get 10 clicks a day.
Okay.
Or you can just go with their suggested bid. And again, I would do that to start off with. And if you get good response, I would stay with that. If not, I would go with something else.
What would happen if he put in $1? I mean, would it say, no, we're not gonna do that low?
Let's see what
or-
happens.
we're not gonna run your ads, it's too cheap, or you'll be at the bottom.
You're at the bottom behind somebody else.
Yeah. It'll let you do it, but again, you won't,